Good afternoon, Sarah. I'm sitting here in front of you after in your beautiful unit after we spent many a week helping you out. You settled in and you're feeling comfortable?
Well, you know what? I've suddenly realised that expression, someone's true colours really come out in a crisis. And I'm really not exaggerating, but you did come to the rescue. I bought this unit, very excited, hadn't quite settled yet, and there were mutterings about the COVID-19 thing, but nothing too worrying. And then suddenly our world collapsed, as you know, and I was due to travel back to the UK to see my family for 4 or 5 months. So I wasn't really fussed about the apartment not being ready for me to move into, and that, you know, quite a bit needed to be done. And suddenly I was thrown into this situation that I couldn't get to the UK, not for the foreseeable future, and I was going to have to suddenly live in the unit that I hadn't got it properly set up for yet. And you came and sorted it with just, and this is the bit that I think makes a difference, with no fuss. You know, there wasn't a big drama about it. You just said, yep, I think we can do that. And it took 2 or 3 weeks, maybe, max.
Yep.
And it just meant that I had enough heat in here, everything set up so I could work from home, which I do because I'm a writer. So my home is really an important place for me. It's not as if I spend an awful lot of time in an office. So it was just so important, and having been a client of yours for 15 years, maybe more,
Wow.
pretty much since I arrived in Australia, of course it was done to your exacting standards, which pretty much makes things perfect. And you came up with a few really good ideas and suggestions for me as well, which I suppose comes of you getting to know me better and the things that I like and don't like, things that I need and maybe don't need. So I ended up with a much better unit because of all the electrical stuff that was done properly.
And one thing you said to me, which I was thrilled about, was the fact that out of everything that happened throughout the whole process, without exaggeration, you feel that the electrical side of what we've created for you was probably the better side of all the trades. And I'm just saying that out of that's something that I took to heart and really appreciated. A little bit like this video that you're doing for us.
Oh, it's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy because really I live over here and all my family are in the UK, so I'm pretty much on my own, and I think of you as part of the family. When Mum and Dad come over, they want to see you and Jackie. You know, it's more than just a working relationship, but I wasn't exaggerating that day. I genuinely am excited about just all the electrics. Lights are so important in creating a home and a home office. And as I say, that just the suggestions you came up with, that I thought I knew what I was doing with every different light source and should it be dimmable or not, and all the IT things as well, you know, setting up my computer and all of that. I thought I had a pretty good plan in my head, but you put me straight on 2 or 3 things at least when you said, might be better to do it this way around instead. And it's just the no fuss, all cleaned up. By the time you leave, I know that the apartment is probably going to be cleaner than it was before you arrived. And that is quite a rare thing, I think. It's just that extra level of care. And I'm only tiny and I can't really move things around. So you make sure that when you've gone, everything is as it needs to be.
How do you think our training of the boys and the influence that they have as well? You know, I've been in the trade for 38 years and you know, I've got my sons and others. Do you think we're setting a good standard in the electrical trade with our training of the boys?
Well, I had a conversation with my dad about this, who is always, he works in finance, and I suppose to say that championing young people is one of his real passions. It is. And it's not, as you say, it's not just close family, because your boys are just fantastic. But, you know, those young people that you've recruited into the team as well, there's just an atmosphere amongst you, which is, it's just an admirable thing to have done, Miles, because to give them a trade that's invaluable and to teach them in a way that they understand how to treat people, how to look after each other. There's a sort of a mutual respect, and I don't see that very often. I really don't. Apprenticeships are not quite a dirty word, but I think most of them are not really what they could be. They're not all that they might be. Whereas I've seen the patients you've had with the boys, and just nudging them here and there if they're maybe going down a track and you're thinking, there might be a better way to do that. And it's just fantastic. And they reward you with absolute loyalty. They'd walk twice round the earth on hot coals for you. And so they should, because it's a mutual teamwork.
That's great. So you're here for the rest of Australia's winter.
Yes.
And let's live in hope that they allow you to go back to your mum and dad, see your mum and dad. Lucky we've got the technology so you can talk to them on Skype, etc.
Absolutely. And I can tell you there have been a couple of moments when I have been in London with mum and dad in their house, and electrical things have gone wrong, and dad's gone, "Miles, come back, where are you?" We don't have electricians like this in London. Not that take the care and trouble. We don't. They're in a rush. They're often quite, not rude, but just abrupt. You know, they're hurrying. It's not the same level of service. That's what it really boils down to, is the level of service.
Fantastic. Thanks, Sarah, and I hope you enjoy what we've done for years to come. And our relationship has gone beyond just tradie client, which is how we like things to be. It's we're quite happy to have you out over for dinner, and you the same way, and we love the way that has developed. So really appreciate this, and
No
thank you for taking the time out.
Well, you've taken great care of me, so there you are.
Thank you.